it's Stitched by Emma, and we're gonna make a dress today and tomorrow and for however many days I'm gonna be filming this. But I had a vision. I was kind of like bit by a creative bug this morning, and I just really wanted to start making. I'm currently making a foundation chain so this area that I want to make can be stretchy. But let me show you my sketch and my vision and my plan, and then we're gonna kind of vlog it. I'm gonna try. I'm bad at vlogging. Y'all know this. I'm bad at vlogging. I'm getting better. Here's my very poorly done sketch of what I want it to look like. Okay, so really dissect that because I'm gonna put it away in a second. Right now all I have done of said dress are these two cups. So I want the top to be like pretty full coverage cups. These are pretty thick. They'll keep me secure. And then the straps are gonna take like the top couple stitches of the cup and just bring them all the way back. I want it to be over the shoulder, not halter. I've done a lot of halter lately and I love a halter. I look good in a halter. And you know what? Me talking about this might be just convincing myself to just make it a halter, because that's my go-to. I feel like it's more comfortable, it's more secure, I look better in it. God, why are all the decisions up to me? So maybe I'll make it a halter. The straps are up for debate at the moment. Anyway, I'm gonna connect the cups by making a half double crochet foundation chain that goes around my underbust snugly. So when you stretch it, it'll fit. So I can put it over my body and it has some room for stretch, for error. Here's one of the fun parts. Once the foundation chain is connected, the cups are on, I have like a band around my bust, I'm gonna go into my vintage lace stash and I'm gonna sort through and pick out some vintage lace to put as a sheer like underbust covering. You can't even see that I'm doing this because the camera cuts it off. To put like a sheer area under my underbust, and I'm gonna put it very, very long so that it can tie in the back. And then we're gonna try and pick it back up with crochet underneath and continue with the rest of the dress, which is going to end up having a slit, and then in the bottom portion of the dress, it's going to be butterfly filet crochet, and then like a contrast color lacy hem. Here's the thing, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that lace portion of the bust, because if I do a tie and then I do another foundation chain underneath, that foundation chain is gonna bunch if it ties. Or does that really matter? Potentially, if I make it tight enough, then like I can just increase underneath from there. I don't know. This is experimental. So we're in this together. And you know what? There's too many elements. I'm doing a halter. I'm doing a fucking halter. I also don't know if like for the dress I'm gonna experiment with stitches or colors or anything like that, or if it's just gonna be like plain cream all the way down. Literally no clue. I'm very much just kind of like going with the flow on this one, seeing what works, seeing how it feels, seeing if I like how it looks and feels on my body. At the end of the day, I want a cute summer cotton dress that incorporates vintage lace and a butterfly filet crochet. And if I get that, I think I'll be happy. Good morning, welcome to day 2 of this dress extravaganza, and I have finished like the bust piece for this. I did end up going with just a foundation chain. It fits over my body pretty nicely, and after like 2.5 seconds of trying to decide if I should do a halter or not, I did end up just going with a halter because I just love them, I'm sorry. So I have my big bag of lace here. It's just an eBay lot of laces that I bought that I love, and I'm trying to decide which one I want to put like right underneath the foundation chain here. There's just so many pretty options, but I want to do something that I would be able to insert my hook into, because I was going to sew it on, but I guess I brought every color of thread with me except my white one, which is still at my parents' house, and you know what, I don't want to go buy more. So if possible, I want to use a tiny hook and just crochet it right on, because that honestly might be a little more secure anyway. These are like my favorite ones in the bag, except this is not ideal for this kind of project because it's got to reconnect afterwards. So it's got to be straight edged on both sides, but like, look at that. There are like 4 different versions of this that are all just like slightly different scallops, and I love them so much. We're looking at a lot of good contenders here, but I think this one might be winning my heart right now, no pun intended. It's got these little hearts and also little flowers that also kind of look like sand dollars, and if it will focus, you can see that it has like a very large edge that I would be able to insert my hook into and then just crochet with. So I think this might be our winner. Hello, hello. So the lace is on and it looks so cute. Let's get a good look at that. Oh my God, I really like it. And honestly, this has no right to be as cute as it is just as a top. I did have some issues. So when I sewed on the lace, I totally underestimated like how much tighter it was gonna make the underbust. And I thought that I'd factor that in by like leaving some space open by like the back foundation chain, because I thought like, well, it's gonna leave some stretchiness. It did not leave enough stretchiness. So the first time I tried it on, I thought it was stuck. I thought I was gonna have to literally rip it and I was so scared, but I did it. Then I went back and I took out a few stitches on one end. I reverse engineered where I put the first stitch in. So now it fits over. It's still a little like tight and snug, but nothing that I can't like repeatedly get on and off with like care, as long as I make sure that I'm doing it carefully. So the back, exactly what I was worrying about. This part sags a little bit, the second chain. So I'm gonna go in, undo a couple of those because this part is loose. This part doesn't add any tightness to it because of the single crochets here. So I'm definitely gonna make this fit better. And then I think once the whole dress is done, once we see like how it looks with like the added weight, I'll just add in a little bit of elastic there so it like stays in place. That's kind of like a last step finished product thing of like, you know, trying to fine tune everything and fine tune the fit. Welcome to day 2. So we're stopping at the top, and that's not the end of the video, but we're stopping with the top portion because I got this far and I realized, fuck, I love it. Like, it is so cute. I did finish the skein with like 5 stitches left, so I'm gonna have to reattach some yarn and do 5 more stitches. But like, this is such a cute, perfect, like easily stylable, flattering summer top. It's comfy because it falls like right over the hips, and so like, it's a perfect cut. It's perfect. So like, we're abandoning the dress idea and we're transitioning into a 2-piece set idea. I mean, like, commotion. It's perfect. It's beautiful. So I want to stay true to my butterfly filet crochet idea for the skirt. Like, you know me and butterflies. Everything's got to have a butterfly on it some way. I have one on my fucking arm. But now that it's a 2-piece set and I'm less worried about like committing to a color scheme for a whole dress, I think I'm gonna make it a little more colorful on the bottom portion. So I picked out a couple yarns. We're still sticking with the Hobby Friends cotton for some of these. So I have a brown, an orange, and a green. And I also have like a light pink. This is from Linares Yarn Co. I got it at a local yarn store back by my hometown. It's very nice, and I don't actually know what the material is. Polwarth. What the fuck is that? I have to Google that. It's a breed of sheep, and it has stable fiber, low grease, and luxurious feel. Okay, yeah, sure. It doesn't feel as like thick as a merino would be, so I feel like it would pair well with these cottons, and the color is nice. I don't know if I'm gonna end up using all of those, but I will, you know, keep popping in today. I started it earlier. We're starting with a foundation chain. I've been a sucker for a foundation chain lately. I feel like it gives such a better finished product than chains, just because there's the stretch element, so you can do some negative ease to it and have it fit better. Did y'all ever try like doing a skirt with just a chain, but it's like a little bit too small of your hips, but it fits your waist? When you pull it up, you get like chain burn on your hips? Or is that just me? But my point is, you don't get that when you do this. So I'm using a foundation chain to get a little bit stretchy, and then I think we're gonna do a lace channel to get some more lace like this, because of course. In my original dress idea, it was gonna be fitted with a slit. I'm aiming more towards flowy. So I think we're just gonna see where it takes us with this. Maybe we'll do some flow, maybe we'll add flow at the bottom. I don't know, but I feel like the last filet crochet skirt that I did was totally fitted, and I loved it. Super, super cute, but I think I want to go for a different look with this one. I am disappointing myself so bad by saying this, but welcome to day 7, 8 of the process. Okay, I wanted to do a daily update on this, but then I like forgot that it was Easter weekend. So the last time y'all saw me was last Wednesday, right? Which is day 2, which makes this day 8. I had to go back to the suburbs on Thursday to see a show with my parents because we've had tickets to the show for like a year. Friday I went to celebrate Easter festivities with my boyfriend and his family out of state. And then Saturday, my friend had like a makeshift Tiny Desk concert for his band at my friend's apartment. So that was great. And then Sunday I went back home for Easter again, and then I got sick. And so my whole plan was to come back and like, you know, film all my progress on Monday and Tuesday. Well, I looked so fugly that like the thought of putting my face on camera for that, I couldn't, but I did make a lot of progress, okay? So I'm gonna show you my progress. I'm watching Charmed in the background, by the way. Any Charmed heads out there? I'm on like season 5 or 6, I think. Kind of fell off for a little bit because I was disappointed with what they did with Cole's arc. If you know, you know. If you watch this show, I don't know, just disappointing. But like, I'm back in it. I'm back in it. So here's our skirt. It was taking me so long to get into this because I was getting so bored. Fuck. I don't know if I revealed this on this channel. I have like chronic hiccups. They always sound like that. They're always that intense. No, I can't close my mouth. No, I can't keep them in. It started one random day in sophomore year religion class, and it hasn't stopped since. So it's been about 10 years now. They just appeared out of the blue one day. I've asked the doctor about it. They're stumped. They don't know. But I was getting so bored because the beginning of this skirt was all just plain double crochet all the way down, and then I realized like I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want it to be plain all the way down because I'm not going to be able to keep my focus just doing one stitch for like, I don't know, 50 rows until we get to the fillet portion. So I added in some floral lace. It looks weird when it's up against each other. I added in floral lace similar to what's in my Victoria top, and then I kind of used that as a natural increase. So like instead of following what you would actually do to even out the stitch count at the end, I added in more chains so that it would like increase and flow, and then it would get flowy around the hips. Add more stitches to make more room for the butterflies because I'm doing 2 big butterflies. It'll be one at the front, one in the back. I did zero math to plan this out. This is 100% winging it, and it turned out perfect. Like I have a perfect amount of space to fit both butterflies in, 8 little pieces of fillet between each of them. Like it's literally perfect. So that's what we did for like the top portion, and then the butterfly, I am making crazy progress. I started this last night, not even like early last night. Like I started this like 9 o'clock last night, went for like 2 hours, fell asleep, and then I've been back at it this morning. It's like 12:30 right now. I've been doing this for like 3 hours straight and I'm not bored at all. Like I'm obsessed with fillet. Every time I do it, I just want to keep going because when I can see that progress being made, oh my god, it's like a drug. It is so fun. One of my biggest issues that I've run into with making this, and I don't know if it shows up on camera, TBH, so you can see that this drape and this drape were the same color. It was like Hobby Friends Cotton 04, and I thought that in the stash I had like 8 of 04s, but I actually had 4 of 04s and 4 of 03s. So the color does switch right here, but I don't think it looks too bad. I don't think it looks too out of place. I feel like if you're watching somebody move with this naturally, like out in the wild, like the flow of the skirt will kind of make it look like the lighting is just like refracting differently at the bottom of the skirt. And even if not, I don't think it's a big deal. I've never been too stingy about like mixing colors and dye lots and stuff. It doesn't really make that much of a difference to me because I'm not selling this either. This is for me, at least for now, unless somebody wants to give me like $10,000. I just finished this row right here, so I am more than halfway done with the butterfly. I'm going to do a couple more rows, check back in, and I'm actually gonna do consistent vlogging today because I'm hoping to finish this. I want to make up for all those days that I missed being a bad vlogger, being a bad YouTuber. It's about an hour later and I finished up the skein of yarn I was working with. I only have 1 left, but I also only have 6 rows left of the butterfly. Each of the skeins have covered about 10.5 rows each, and these last couple rows have like the least amount of like full filleted in the stitches. I feel like I should be more than fine to finish this and then maybe get like one like finishing row of like opaque crochet underneath. I have no idea how I want this skirt to end. I'm just kind of winging it right now. It'll probably be like a row of a contrast color with like a little minimal lace because that's how I end most of my skirts because it makes them look finished. But check that out so far. Oh, mama! I think we're gonna try it on really quick, get a length check, and then next time I check in, I'll be done, I think. My head's gonna get disembodied for a second. Just ignore it. Listen to my voice. I think overall, the butterfly turned out a lot thicker and longer than I was expecting it to be, which is good and bad. Bad because it didn't exactly match the vision that I was going for, but good because I wasn't expecting the skirt to end up being this long once I started working, but I wanted it to be a maxi. So I'm really liking the length that it's turning out to be, and I think the big butterfly looks cool. It just wasn't the vision I initially had, but I think I can rock with this. I think I'm liking it. Looking at the way that all of this is lining up right now, I'm thinking once the butterfly is done, I'm gonna do another row of the floral lace at the very bottom underneath it, and then get like the plain white or cream if I have enough left to do a little small scalloped trim or something. Okay, so we're kind of done, but not actually. The butterfly is totally done and it looks absolutely gorgeous, but I don't think I want to stop right here. I don't think the length is exactly where I want it to be, so I think I'm gonna do one more row of like a plain fillet, nothing filled in, and then I'm going to maybe do one plain row of this if I have enough yarn, then do one more row of this lace, and then do a really thin row of like a plain color to coat it off. Our butterfly looks astounding. She's beautiful and gorgeous, and my arms hurt. I haven't been so into like getting a project finished in like so long. I just get so excited for these skirts. I don't know what it is between this and like the rose fillet skirt that I did. It's an obsession. But I don't think it's finished lengthwise. I am gonna have to take a break for a second. I need to get outside or stretch my legs or something because I'm feeling definitely a little cooped up and a little bit like need to do a child's pose for my shoulders. But for now, just appreciate how cool this is. Welcome to the 9th and and final day of making this set. My skirt is done and I'm really excited. It's literally only 10:30 of today, so I didn't expect to finish this so early. Yesterday, like halfway through the day, I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was so like into it, and then my wrist started hurting and I was like, I need to take a break. So I took a break, and then that break ended up just me not doing anything else for the rest of the day, but it's gonna be worth it. I'm gonna find the best angle to get this camera at so you can get like a decent view of the bottom of the skirt. I feel like this should do it. I am so ridiculously obsessed. I finish it off by doing one plain filet row and then one opaque row of the white, then a row of the floral lace, and then a row of single crochet scallops, just like I said I was gonna. It's actually perfect. The only thing I think that I might change is the lace that I'm using as a belt right now because it's very stiff and I think I want something a little bit flowier, and I cut it a little short. I think I'd like it to be a little bit longer. This is my second summer set so far that I've made. My other one was like pinks and oranges and it was half crochet, half knit. Both are very cute and so different. Just like the vibes of both of them are, I'm so happy with this. I mean, the butterfly is just so gorgeous. And the way it's on the back and the front, like the flow of the skirt is very nice. It's like the perfect amount of increases where it's not too much, but it's not too little, not too tight. One last little look at the top too, because she's gorgeous too. Thank you for joining me while I made this set. This was very fun for me, so I hope that y'all liked it too. I got a few swipe ups on Instagram asking for a pattern for the skirt, and it's a potential, but my thing is when I make stuff like this, I don't stitch count at all. Like, I know that there's lace involved that like requires a certain amount of stitches. I'll just fucking like, when I get to the last row, if I'm 10 stitches off, I'll put in random increases, random decreases, skip the wrong amount of stitches to make it work. So I'd have to go back and make a whole another skirt to like test out the math of this and everything. It's not impossible. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying it'll be a next year thing probably, because I've already got another filet skirt that I'm working on a pattern for this year. But it's cute as hell. I'm so happy with it. I questions for a pattern for the top too, and like this is the antique lace in the middle, so like that's obviously a no. It wouldn't be the same because like I can't be like, yes, everybody go source out a piece of this antique lace, like no. But if we wanted to do like a matching set pattern, there is potential that I could write like a little filet portion so that this matches the butterfly down here, but like teeny tiny with some crochet thread. So not saying no, just saying it might be next year. Thanks again for following along. If you like this, you might like some of my other designs. I have patterns on my website and my Etsy, and I have pieces that I sell on my website as well. So if you want to check that out, these pieces will not be on the website, unfortunately for you, but fortunately for me, because I want to keep this at least for a little bit, you know. I'll see you in the next one.